To be continued. 3 little words that hold the secret to the next great story. 3 words that will thrill you, confound you, give life to new possibilities. Every variation of To Be Continued is a promise of adventure, a promise of excitement, a promise of unseen wonders and unexplored worlds. A promise that every issue you read makes you a part of a never-ending journey, and behind every page there will be an unopened door waiting for you. This story to be continued at your local comic book shop today. Visit comicshoplocator.com today.
Today's comics market is ripe with new titles by creators who are determined to get their books into your hands. My name is Onrie Compen. For the last decade, I've been making and selling my own creator-owned comics and dealing as a collector in live sales. My signature series, Yi Sun Shin, is the book that cannot be defeated in battle and has over 250,000 copies in print. Now I'm taking comics to the next level and laying the groundwork for my fellow creators to get their voices heard so they can connect directly with you. This is your chance to engage live with top comic book talent and get your comics signed without having to wait in long lines or pay any fees. But remember, we only have a limited amount of their books in stock, so always remember to call it as you see it. You're watching Virtual Signings with Onrie, the live event show.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Virtual Signings with Onrie. I'm your host, Onrie Compen. So our special guest for today unfortunately had to cancel at the very last minute. They were stuck in traffic, so we'll schedule him in and we'll try and get him back. Stephen Walker, welcome to the show. Mike, good to see you, my brother. Thank you so much for being here right now. So guys, here's what we're going to do for the next hour. We're going to do a best of. And I just grabbed a bunch of creator-owned books that I have in stock, and then I'm going to talk about my comics because I can do that. It's my show. I can talk about whatever I want for the next hour. That's the best part about being on the experience. Have you subscribed yet? Ooh, look at that. Here we go. Oh, yeah, that's the spot right there. Just tickle it right there. All right, let's get back to it. Let's get in appropriate. Dial it down to the PG level. So that is totally gross. Thank you very much, JD, for telling me that. I'm trying to, just hook everybody up with the USB 3 cable. All right, so check it out. I'm going to start off by talking about a really cool comic series that I personally enjoyed very, very much and that I think you guys will really, really like as well. It is called Cat Dad and Supermom. And this was put out by my man, Rob Anderson, who was a guest on our show multiple times. And this is the last copy of his book I have in stock. And what's really cool about this is the book has been since picked up by Scout. It had a very successful Kickstarter campaign, and then Scout said, we want to publish this. So this was the book that was released before Scout picked it up. Now, what's Cat Dad and Supermom about? Cat Dad and Supermom is about a boy who goes to school and he sees the other kids in his class bullying someone. In this case, it's the school lunch lady, and it's a view of how he deals with it, and it's very emotional. It's very sweet and it's very tender. I'm going to open this up so you guys can check out some of the artwork inside. This is totally worth it. Rob Anderson, the guy who wrote this book, is a sensational writer and just a really, really, he's the indie advocate. I mean, this guy has been pushing independent comics for a long time, and he's a creator as well, and he really cares about what he's doing. And he's collaborating with Chuck Pino, who is an editor that I'm going to be collaborating with, that I'm already collaborating with on my next project, Warline, which I will hopefully be able to talk more about with you guys soon. And it is a very sweet story. Cat Dad and Supermom fight this Ella Fart villain, but it's not really a villain. It's, this lunch lady dealing with her bullying and the sadness of that. And it's, it has a really great end, and it is one of those like one-shot books, but it's an ongoing thing. That's why Scout picked it up. So what's Cat Dad and Supermom going for right now? Just $10. And this is the last copy of it I have in stock. Like I said, today's a best of, so I'm just digging through some of my creator-owned titles, and we might take a walk around the warehouse. I have all my creator-owned books like readily available, and I can just grab them at any point. And then I'm going to talk about Yisun Shin because, like I said, I can do that on my show. So Cat Dad and Supermom, call it as you see it. You know the drill. And you can learn more about Cat Dad and Supermom on Scout's website. Thank you so much, JD. I appreciate you sharing that. You are phenomenal. I appreciate you, brother. Here's another book that I'm really digging. So I had this guest on a couple weeks ago, and I'm going to hawk his stuff again because I just think it's awesome. I got Tooth and Nail #1. And this is, guys, this is a sweet, sweet, sweet pickup because it's only going for $3 right now. You're looking at an independent comic for only $3, creator-owned title, signed by the creator himself, right in the top corner right there, in case you guys can't see it. So Tooth and Nail is written, drawn, and published by Corey Andre Bird. And I know Corey from this business for a while now. And he has been at it for a long time. We went to college together. What's up, Kevin? How you doing? Went to the same college together. And it's just great to see that he's still at it, that he's still like so passionate about putting his work out there. And the fact that he's still doing it himself. And the artwork here really kind of reminds me of some like early Ninja Turtle stuff. Now, I'm going to tell you guys what this book's about because there's like a nice little summary on the back. So I'm going to read that to you guys. In the world of Tooth and Nail, a darkness looms over the presence of light. The peaceful inhabitants of Neko Village is under attack. The barbaric Ratto are on a mission to end the existence of the Neko. However, 4 heroic warriors push back. Jade the leader, Sapphire the humble swordsmaster, Onyx the timid, and Destiny the mysterious work together to end the invasion of their home. Trained by their master Jin, they learn important lessons to overcome their differences in order to fight as one, which is really cool. And Corey's got this huge plan for the series, and the master Jin is actually spelled like the liquor, Gin. What's up, Mr. Moore? How you doing, brother? Good to see you. David Moore! You can't have a best of virtual signings without the DJ siren, without David Moore. All right, let's keep going. So, Tooth and Nail. This reminds me of Ninja Turtles, guys, like straight up. Like this is how Ninja Turtles started, as like a project between two friends who were just sitting there and they were coming up with ideas and they were just drawing it out and making it into these comics. And you could get Tooth and Nail #1 right now for only $3. Call it as you see it. We got you covered. We got plenty of these, so you guys don't got to fight over it. It's really quite amazing. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I got, how many copies I have? 4. I have 8 copies left of Tooth and Nail #1, and I'm going to sell out of all of these. It's just a matter of time, but it's a great creator-owned series. You're supporting a creator that is trying to get out there and put their mark out on the world. So if you guys know somebody who's into it, and do me a favor, don't just, if you're watching right now, do me a favor, share the love, right? Take the YouTube link and share it and tell people we are selling independent creator-owned comics right now on virtual signings. Our guest who was supposed to be here today was unfortunately unable to make it. So I'm just digging up a bunch of stuff that I have in the warehouse and I'm slinging it here. And I'm going to tell you guys about Yisun Shin too, because I'm all about, slinging everybody's comics. That's what's up here. Tooth and Nail #1, $3. Call it as you see it. We got plenty of that in stock. Surprised no one jumped on Cat Dad and Supermom. That first issue, not my chase receipt, but this one right here going for just $10. It's a steal. It's an honest to goodness steal. All right. This next book I'm going to tell you guys about. This one's wild, man. This one is wild, bro. I got Zombie Terrors by Frank Forte. Now, this is the guy who is the lead artist on Bob's Burgers, and he signed this too. Now, what you don't know about the lead artist of Bob's Burgers is that he moonlights as a publisher, and he actually puts out really, really great stuff. There's a series that he put out called Warlash that, like, I really want to get my hands on. He sent me a bunch of copies, and then I sold through them all. I didn't even have a chance to read any of it. And David Moore is saying all Frank's stuff is great. I really need to get my hands on Warlash. Like, it's driving me nuts. And he keeps telling me I got to wait like a couple weeks because he's getting it reprinted. Zombie Terror is right here. Really fantastic book right here. And it's an anthology of different zombie stories from different artists. It's all just short stories. And I love anthologies. I love the challenge of an anthology too. And we'll talk more about that in a little bit because you got, a set amount of page space, usually about, anywhere from, 1 page up to 8 pages to tell a whole story with a beginning, middle, and end. And it's really quite a challenge. And when we're talking about zombies, there's all kinds of stuff you can do here. And JD, you are freaking awesome. I love that you're adding all these like links here. Thank you so much. That's what a great producer does. And that's why I'm so happy to be a part of the experience, because we're all working together to build this community where we make it easier for you guys to get more comics and be informed about the comics that are out there, especially from the creator-owned guys, right? Because we don't get the distribution or let's just say, not necessarily that we don't get the distribution. We don't necessarily have the same amount of presence that bigger companies like, say, Marvel, DC, Image, or Source Point, Press. Oh, man, God. Woo! That those guys necessarily have. But jokes aside, those guys, they have teams dedicated to this, and they're also working really hard to bring out a lot of creator-owned titles, and they're really trying to put muscle behind it and doing – that is a heck of a cough. I got nothing but love for Scout, Source Point Press, everybody. In fact, I think they were really pushing everything in comics forward right now. So let me just set the record straight on that. As jokey as Mr. Jokester I can be. But, Silent Press, that's Frank Forte's publishing identity. And we got this book going for $15. I think I got a couple copies of it. Zombie Terrors. There's 4 copies of this. So 4 copies of Zombie Terrors going for just $15. You get a whole graphic novel right here, signed by the creator, because that's what we're about, virtual signings, right? So call it as you see it. Oh, okay, good. Well, there was no context. All right. We got another book here that is awesome. All right. Check this out. Amazonia. This is put out by my man, Joe McPhee. Amazonia is basically about this superhero, ex-superhero, who comes back to her hometown, and she becomes a police officer. She's like, I'm a police officer. I need your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle. And jokes aside, she comes back to basically start fresh, but her past is kind of like about to catch up to her. Now, what makes this book so amazing is the creator behind it, because what he did was he taught himself how to draw. And not only did he teach himself how to draw this series, but he's also writing it and publishing it. And he's been doing it for a long time. He's been through hell and high water on this book in terms of like the amount of challenges that he's had trying to keep it out there and in publication. And he's done an incredible job. I'm really, really proud of him. And he's got a number of different titles, and he's constantly working. And I don't think there's anybody in this business that has taught me more than Joe McPhee. And we have Amazonia #1, #2, which features a variant cover by Terry Huddleston. #3, also a Terry Huddleston variant. And if you don't know who Terry Huddleston is, if you go to any comic convention, you will see his artwork everywhere. He's the guy who has basically a huge wall full of headshots of profile shots of popular superheroes and everything. And he's got a wonderful business. He works his butt off. There's nobody I respect more in this business than Terry Huddleston for his hustle. Really incredible creator and artist. And he makes comics too. You can see it. He's done a variant for issues 2 through 4 of Amazonia. Not a variant. He did the covers for them. But then Joe decided to come on back and do the cover for issue 5. And then we have issue 6. So I have the first 6 issues of Amazonia. And let's see. He's got them priced at $8.50, 12, 13, 16, 19, 20. He was normally selling these for $25, but I'm going to knock it down to 20 for you guys. This is my last set. And if we could sell this set here, Amazonia will have officially sold out through Hunter Killer Collectibles, our dealer outfit, which would be really, really fantastic. When Joe first came on the show, that was something that him and I were talking about, was moving his books. We really want to show that they're selling and that he's growing. And when you're supporting any of the titles that I'm going to show this afternoon, you guys aren't just buying comics. You guys are buying comics from creators who are basically pouring their blood, sweat, and tears into this. The moonlighters who are making comics when everybody else is sleeping. It means so much to support them. Yeah, comic conventions used to be a thing, and hopefully they'll still continue to be a thing. I am actually headed out to MegaCon next week to sling my own books, and then I got AwesomeCon the weekend after that. So far, it seems like these shows are happening. Who knows what's going to change over the course of the weekend? We can only hope that everything will be okay, but we'll see what happens. And David Moore saying, I'd be honored to be the person to sell out Joe's. Excellent. Thank you so much, David. I appreciate that. So we're going to do that. We have sold out of Amazonia. And David, do me a favor. Can you just make a post and take a screenshot real quick if you can, and just mention it. And then we're going to have to hit the DJ siren. David Moore! Boom shakalaka. That's how it's done on virtual signings. Thank you so much, David. We appreciate you. Now, JD, I got a book for you, man. This one is going to be absolutely something you won't want to. You can't live without. Can you live without it? Excellent. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. And we got Joe McPhee's website, and it's actually MCFEE instead of the fee. He's not from Vietnam, but it's okay. It's all good. Not Vietnamese, but he might like Vietnamese food. Oh boy, JD's gonna give me a stern talking to after this show's done. All right, let's see what else I got here that's creator owned. I got a whole ton of stuff here. Oh, my favorite series, one that I literally pooped my pants over. This bad boy right here, The Fuhrer and the Tramp. This is a sensational freaking book. I love it. I love it to death. What's with the 140 DPI camera? What DPI camera? Do I have a DPI? I don't. Am I not? Can you not see me well? Is that the problem? Am I showing up kind of weird? The camera is low res. Oh, okay, because it's the camera that is connected to my computer, and it's a little fuzzy. Absolutely. Yeah, hold on. You know what I'm going to try and do? Give me just a second. I'm going to try and hardline in, and that might help with the fuzziness. Just give me 1 second. I can do that real fast. All right, hang on. I have a laptop. There we go. All right, I am hardlined in now, so that might help. Let me know if that helps with the fuzziness of the camera. I hope it does, and if it doesn't, talk amongst yourselves. Were you feeling verklempt just now? Talk amongst yourselves. All right, let's get back to it. Let's talk about The Fuhrer and the Tramp. Now, it's very important to me that you guys can see this book here, despite the light reflection here, which I'm sorry, I can't see. I can't do much about that. Actually, I might be able to. Hang on just a second. Hey. There we go. This might help a little bit. Lighting is everything. Location, location, location. No, that didn't help much. But if you see it from over here, The Fuhrer and the Tramp is basically about Charlie Chaplin, who's on the cover here. And we got this book signed by the creator, Sean McArdle. It's a phenomenal book. Check out the artwork in here. It's all black and white. Now, Source Point Press picked this book up, and they re-released it and had it colored. And the colored version is even more amazing. It's really, really beautiful stuff. I absolutely love and adore this series. And what was really cool was when I had Sean McArdle on the show a couple of weeks ago, he announced a sequel is being made called The Shogun and the Tramp, which is going to take place in Japan now. So The Fuhrer and the Tramp is sort of like a fictional story of how Charlie Chaplin goes overseas to fight Hitler along with two other famous actors. I forgot their names. You guys might be able to recognize them. I think there should be something here that says who they are. But FDR makes an appearance. Everybody loves FDR. Anyway, and Hitler makes an appearance too, and he gets punched in the face. And if you ask Sean McArdle what he thinks about Hitler, he loves people. He loves the idea of punching them in the face. So The Fuhrer and the Tramp. This is going to go for, I believe, $15 today. Is it $15? $15. That's what I'm saying. I appreciate that, JD. Thank you. I'll take that into consideration. We actually do have a camera in the other room. I'm just using this for virtual signings right now. So The Fuhrer and the Tramp is going to go for $15. It's signed by Sean McArdle. Really, really great stuff. Yeah, no problem. I got tooth and nail for you as well. Thank you very much, Mr. Moore. David Moore! I don't know if I could get it. Who would want to see me on an OnlyFans page? I'm not attractive enough. I am not sexy enough for that. But a man can try. And if he could teach a class, then he could teach a class. I mean, I could teach a class. By the way, I teach a class on selling and pitching your comics. Fuhrer and the Tramp. If you guys are interested, I can tell you all about it. Fuhrer and the Tramp is going for $15. We got 4 copies here, so no one's got to fight over it. Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing stuff. We're down to 7 copies left of Tooth and Nail. 7 copies left of Tooth and Nail. And we're down to, we still got 1 copy of Cat Dad and Supermom, going for 10. Tooth and Nail, again, is going for 3. Fuhrer and the Tramp is going for 15. Zombie Terrors, going for $15 signed. These are all signed books, guys. All right, this next book I'm going to tell you guys about is super dope. It is super amazing and hilarious. If you are a fan of Eastbound and Down, then this is your book right here, Florida Man. Florida Man. This is written by Mike Barron and illustrated by Todd Mulrooney. I read this. Florida Man is literally, he's kind of like a superhero in a lot of ways. Gary is his name. And what happens is his girlfriend gets arrested for stripping in front of a Waffle House. And he now has to raise the money to help her pay bail. make bail. So he gets into all kinds of trouble with his buddy, and they start doing all kinds of stuff. They go over to, start selling drugs, and they start shooting boards and doing all kinds of weird, crazy things. And it's stuff that like you literally see in the newspaper about like Florida man does this or Florida man does that. You've seen this stuff before, and it's all like culminated as a funny story. And I could literally see this as like, a movie, or a TV show, and it's hilarious. Florida man, grab this bad boy. It is such good stuff. It's going for $25. That's the cover price on it. That's what we're going to sell it for. Highly recommend it. Florida man, Floridia man. Very good stuff. Highly recommend it. Next up, we got Liberty Deception here. This is put out by my man, Trevor Vengroff, and he actually signed this to me. He said, Onrie, thank you for your support, advice, and inspiration. I only got one copy of it. I am selling this copy off because I've read this book. I've really liked it. If you're a fan of like Blade Runner or any sci-fi stuff, this is totally up your alley. And I'm going to sell it to you guys for a discounted price. This is normally a $25 book that I'm going to do for just $15 right now. And I believe there's a Dave Dorman cover on it, but it's really sensational stuff. Take a look inside and the artwork. Really, really good. I absolutely love this. It's a really, really good book. So $15, call it as you see it. Liberty Deception, hardcover bound book. Really, really nice. And knocking $10 off the cover price. I mean, that's a deal right there. Call it as you see it. Let's see what else we got here. I have another really, really great series. I got two great series here. Now I got three. Look at this. This is the best part. I'm so glad we did this best of episode, because it's been a while since we've been doing this, about 6 months. And over the course of that time, we have acquired so many incredible creator-owned titles. I've got a whole library of it now. I've got so much stuff here. I could go on for more than just the hour and hook you guys up with some excellent creator-owned titles. I've got a couple more here. Let's talk about more stuff. If you guys are into music, I got another really good one here. This is put out by my very good friend, Onrie Jang, and it's called Rock Hard. And it is a hardcover bound book that comes in a case, really beautiful. And it's an anthology of stories inspired by music. And Enrica is just a phenomenal creator and publisher. She has done everything herself. She got her training from Marvel. And, she learned a bunch of stuff and then decided she was going to just do everything on her own. And it's really fantastic. And you could pick up her stuff through Emerald Comics Distribution. Excellent. So the 27 Club, a comics anthology edited by Enrica. She's the publisher as well. This is going to go for $25 right now. So $25, and it normally has a price tag of $40 on it, but I'm going to do it for $25 right now because I want to move it. I want to get you guys this book here. And in about 2 minutes, we're going to take a break here, a short little break. A teeny tiny break. I'm going to pitch one more book, and then we're going to go to break. And that book is Foot Fist Frankenstein. David Moore, if you're watching, tell us what you think. Foot Fist Frankenstein. Basically, think John Wick meets Frankenstein. It's outstanding stuff. And it's signed as well by the artist, writer, and publisher, Tom Kelly, who basically did a Kickstarter for this, absolutely murdered on Kickstarter, and then actually got the book out. And I'm so proud of Tom because this really took a long time for him to do. And he did such a sensational job with everything on it. It's a really, really great book. It's going for $20 today, $20 for Foot Fist Frankenstein. We have 4 copies left in stock. There are 4 copies of Foot Fist Frankenstein in stock right now. Call it as you see it. We got you covered. Now, we're going to take a short break right now, but when we come back, I got a ton of other creator-owned titles out there. So do me a favor, share this out. Let everybody know that this is the place to buy your creator-owned books right now. And in the final couple minutes of the show, we're going to talk about a series that I created, Yi Sun Shin. I'll see you guys in just a minute.
There's a town that lies nestled deep in the Appalachian Mountains in the great American state of Pennsylvania. The name of the town is White Ash. With a town charter dating back to 1714, it's one of the oldest towns in the country. And as you can tell from how hard those smokestacks are puffing, it's also one of the coldest. Thankfully, the people of White Ash have a secret that's dark and very deep. A secret to keeping warm, bituminous coal. From bituminous coal as a product ingredient comes heat, power, transportation, and necessities and luxuries almost beyond count. And where, you might ask, does all that coal come from? The answer is places like Alden Mountain and towns just like White Ash, where it's dug from the mountains by the hardest working men in America, our coal miners. But while an industry supports the town supports the industry. Here are two of White Ash's finest young entrepreneurs, Catlin and Kyle, owners of the Double K gas station. Coming or going, they'll get you there. But a town can't be all work and no play. Hello, Alec. Hello, Lillian. Where are you two kids going? Why, they're going to Sif's. Don't let its Nordic theme fool you. The most popular place in every American town is the local diner, and Sif's is no exception. Home to the world-famous Stack Attack, Sif's have been filling the bellies of White Ashians since 1895. Yes, White Ash, founded by men who came from the four corners of the earth, bringing with them innovation, can-do spirit, and dark, dark secrets.
Today's comics market is ripe with new titles by creators who are determined to get their books into your hands. My name is Onrie Compen. For the last decade, I've been making and selling my own creator-owned comics and dealing as a collector in live sales. My signature series, Yi Sun Shin, is the book that cannot be defeated in battle and has over 250,000 copies in print. Now I'm taking comics to the next level and laying the groundwork for my fellow creators to get their voices heard so they can connect directly with you. This is your chance to engage live with top comic book talent and get your comics signed without having to wait in long lines or pay any fees. But remember, we only have a limited amount of their books in stock, so always remember to call it as you see it. You're watching Virtual Signings with Onrie, the live event show.
Welcome back, everybody. We are back with some more books to show you guys. So we got Demon Bitch here, Hellfire and Damnation by my girl, Christy Shin. This is a phenomenal book right here. She signed this one to me, and this one is really, really cool. I love Christy, and I totally support her work. This is a strip of basically what it's about is Demon Bitch represents everything that the artist hates about certain people that she interacts with. It's like a culmination of all those people into one character. And it's sort of like the opposite of who she is. And it's really raunchy. It's super raunchy. And it's hilarious. And I think it's just fantastic. And it's got a lot of really cool pinups inside and some behind-the-scenes work of how the book was made. It's really, really it's a fantastic read. Sensational read here. And we're going to do this one copy of Demon Bitch, Hellfire and Damnation for just $15 today. $15. Call it as you see it. Demon Bitch, Hellfire and Damnation. Really fantastic. Next up, I got Beardo by Dan Doherty. This is by far one of my favorite strip series ever. So Dan Doherty is a local comics creator to me in Chicago. I've known him for years now. I've actually had the honor of collaborating with him on a different book, which I'll tell you guys about. Beardo is sort of like, if you're into Kevin Smith type humor, Beardo is kind of like a more PG-13 friendly version of that. And it's basically about the artist, Dan Doherty. And this is the first book. And basically what happens here is, what's going on? Dan is basically writing about, what he did after college. Like, what happens as soon as you leave college? Like, what do you do as an artist? And he just decided to become a barista. And he meets people, and he's in a relationship with one person, and then he writes about how he meets his wife, and he writes about how they get married and how they have children and all this other stuff. It's a really, really wonderful, outstanding read, and I highly recommend anybody who hasn't had a chance to pick this up. It's really, really good stuff. Yeah, I do find it like Dilbert. It really is kind of like that. I could totally see that. What else I got here? Ah, yes, Sammernauts. Forgot about that bad boy. We have Sammernauts, Curse of the Dreadnoughts here. Really, really fantastic. Fantastic book right here. Done by Mark Fishman and his group, Unshaven Comics. Now check this out. Look at the artwork in this book. This is really, really cool stuff. And the art style changes too. We've had Mark on the show before. He is a phenomenally talented creator. He's been doing this a long time. And I'm just going to give you the pitch right now. It's on the back of the book. Samurai astronauts led by an immortal kung fu monkey saving the universe from zombie cyborg space pirates. What more do you need? Sammernauts, Curse of the Dreadnoughts. I'm sorry about the light here, guys. It's just the place where I'm set up here. Is going for just $25 today. I'll knock $5 off if we can make a deal here. So $20. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so blurry, guys. I know I tried hardlining in. It doesn't seem to be working very well. But just bear with me. We got like 20 minutes left to go, and then we're done. And if you guys see something that you're interested in, that you guys can still hear me. So if you guys have questions about a specific title, let me know, and I can send you pictures of it so you guys can see it more clearly. Like JD, you were mentioning this earlier, that was really frustrating to see me, and then it's fuzzy. If you hear me talking about a book that you're actually interested in, message me on Facebook. Message us, and here's the best part about virtual signings and live sales in general. You guys can hit me up at any point. If I still have it for sale, it's yours. Call it as you see it. And you can also check out the art and the direct links in the chat, like JD is saying. JD has been incredibly helpful over the course of this last hour, sharing the links of all these creators. I think this has been one of the best turnouts I've seen so far for a virtual signing, simply because of the fact that we are promoting not just one creator, but so many creators that have been on the show. It's a best of. We're showing all the stuff that we have showcased so far that we still have available. A lot of this stuff is sold out too. So it's pretty amazing. So we got 3 copies of the Sammernauts, Curse of the Dreadnoughts. If you guys have any questions about that book, let me know. We can talk about it. It's all good. Another book I have here that is really awesome is done by my man. Ooh. This book right here is called In the Beginning, The Epic of Anunnaki. And it's done by Alex Teflish, who also did this book called Aron's War, or Aron's Story. which was about his grandfather, who was a Russian Jewish soldier who fought the Nazis during World War II. And I did a similar book, but it was about my grandfather. And it was interesting to see the different takes and the different ways we went about making those comics. But this is some of the artwork in here, and it's really about I believe it's about aliens, and but not in like the fake sense. It's researched and really well put together. It's a fantastic read here. It is suggested for mature readers. I'm just going to put a price tag of $10. So $10, and I got one solo copy of it. It has some swag with it too, which is kind of cool. You get these cool little postcards here. And Alex showed up at New York Comic Con. I've never met him in person, but he's a phenomenal guy. We've talked before. We have a lot in common because we're both Russian Jews and we both love comics. So that's enough for me, even if he was just a comic book lover. But we got In the Beginning, The Epic of Anunnaki. You guys, again, can check out the link and see if it's your thing. We're going to need to have Alex on for a show at some point. It's definitely something that I'd like to see happen in the coming months. Another book here. This next book I'm going to show you guys is the last copy of the book that I have from this particular creator, whose work has sold out on our show, and who just dropped a book this week that has sold out on Jen King's show and on Jesse James's show. It's sold out on 2 shows on CBSN, the Comic Book Shopping Network. If you haven't joined that group yet, be sure you do. The Infernal Pact by Joseph Schmalke. This is a phenomenal read. And this is my last copy of it. It's Sex, Drugs, and Damnation. Joseph released a book this week called We Don't Kill Spiders. It's a phenomenal read as well. I really enjoyed We Don't Kill Spiders. The Infernal Pact. This is a solid, amazing read. I'm not sure I can really find much to show you. There's a lot of nudity and sex and drugs and all kinds of stuff going on in this book that may get flagged on the EXP. So we're going to avoid showing it off here. But we got the Infernal Pact. I got one copy. This is my last copy, and it's going for just $20 today. $20, it's yours. We got the Infernal Pact from Joseph Schmalke. This is the last copy of it we have in stock. After this, it's sold out. And here's the thing that Joseph told me. He goes, dude, once you sell out of my stuff, it's going to be hard to get it because, I'm selling like crazy. And he opens up his shop like once a week on Instagram, and people just flood his shop, and they ransack it. And he sells out of all of his stuff. I've seen it happen. It's pretty wild. The next book I'm going to show off is from a creator who has basically he's been self-publishing a long time, and he puts together these really incredible anthologies that do gangbusters on Kickstarter, and it's called Cthulhu is Hard to Spell, a monster anthology about Lovecraft, and it's done by Russell Nolte, and it has contributors galore. There are all kinds of artists in this book, and Russell brings them all together, and he does an incredible job of packaging and publishing his stuff. He's a great writer too. He's a USA Today best selling writer, and he's just a genuinely great guy. He's trying to bring more comics into the world, which is great. The first volume of this book is going to go for just $25 today. Now, Russell didn't just do one volume of this book. He actually did 2 volumes of this. So we actually have the Terrible Twos, which I think is really cute and awesome and friendly. And I'll tell you what, I will knock $5 off the cover price of both of these books and make Cthulhu is Hard to Spell $50 for both of these. Or if you guys really, really want it, send me a price and we can talk business. You guys have a hard time seeing this stuff? Again, if it suits your fancy, message me. I will totally hook you guys up. I'm sorry about the camera today. Lots of things seem to be going wrong. We're just making do, and we're having a good time. I'm enjoying myself. I hope you guys are too. The next book we have here is Albert the Alien, and this is put out by another creator who's local to me. His name is Trevor Muller, and this is part of a 4-volume series. And so this is the first volume, New in School, and it's about this alien from another planet who comes to Earth, and he has to basically go to school with other kids. And it's done, the artwork is done by Gabriel Batista. Gabo is what he goes by. And it's a great kids book. It is sensational. It's really, really good. And we're going to do, I actually don't just have volume 1. I have volumes 2, 3, and 4 right here. So volume 2 is called The Substitute Teacher from Planet X. That's the second one. The third volume is called Home Life. And the fourth volume is called Space Bullies from Mars. We are going to do a deal on this. And these are all signed, by the way, too, on the inside covers. So we have all 4 parts of Albert the Alien here. I'm going to do all of it for $80 today. So that's $20 per book. And you know what? I'll knock it down to $75 if anyone's interested. $75, you get all 4 parts of Albert the Alien. The creator himself wouldn't be able to do this at a convention because he's got to break even. But I'm going to give you guys a little break. I'm going to hook you up. Take these off my hands. It's $75, or just stick with 1, 2, 3, or 4, and I'll do them each for $20 a pop. These are all pre-signed, and I'll throw some swag in there too. I'll hook you guys up big time. Next book we got here is Katrina Hates Dead Shitsune. This is from Russell Nohelty as well. Another solid book right here that he put out, and it's about this zombie killer named Katrina, and she's pretty bad. She's pretty badass. It's gonna go for $15 today. $15 is the only copy I have of it. It's out of print, so this is a pretty big deal. And it's the way it's a little beat up like this. It's done like that on purpose, I believe. It's really, really fantastic. Not necessarily that it was a beat up book. So really solid stuff. It looks like it was intentional, but it's done like that. All right, now I'm going to talk about me for the next 9 minutes. I get to talk about all of my stuff because I showcased a bunch of stuff here. Now I'm going to talk about the books that I created because I can do that. So, all right, guys. So for those of you who don't know, I am a comic book creator myself, and I put out this series called Yisun Shin, which is about a Korean admiral that battled the Japanese in the 1500s. And he was outnumbered 10-1 against the Japanese, and he beat them 23 times in a row and never lost a single battle. It's all based on a true story, and we have a deal going on where if you buy issues 1, 2, that's the series villain, by the way. His name's Baron. So number 3, those are turtle ships that you see on the cover. So Yisun Shin created these ironclad warships 400 years before the U.S. Civil War, and he would use just 3 of these ships, and he would send them off, and he would be able to destroy an entire fleet of Japanese ships. In fact, in this battle right here, the Battle of Sachon, Yisun Shin deploys the turtle ship for the first time. And what was really cool about this is the Japanese had no idea what these ships were. And in order to trick the Japanese, what he did was he put these straw mats on top of the ship. And he did this on purpose to make the Japanese think that, they were just, they were just trying to scare them. So the Japanese would jump on these ships. They didn't realize as they jumped on the ship is that each of these ships have spikes on the cover because they are ironclad. They had iron plates on top. And so the Japanese soldiers basically jumped to their deaths. But not only that, let's just say they miraculously didn't get impaled on top of the ship. The entire top of the ship was lined with oil, which would force them to slip and fall and get killed. Another cool thing about this ship was it could fire from 4 different directions. So Yu Sun Shin would be able to destroy multiple ships with one command, and it was really, really amazing how every single battle was fought. So that's issue 3. Issue 4, which completes the final the first arc of the Yu Sun Shin trilogy, leads up to one of the 4 greatest naval battles ever fought in world history, where Yu Sun Shin leads the Japanese into this channel and creates this formation called the Crane Wing, where basically the Japanese thought that Yu Sun Shin only had like 15 ships, but he actually made a deal with his fellow commanders, and they basically cut off the Japanese around and surrounded them. And when they did that, they were able to just basically shoot them like fish in a barrel. And they used cannons, which what gave Japan the advantage over Korea was not only did they outnumber the Koreans, they also had superior technology and rifles. So the Japanese came to Korea with the intent of fighting on land. They weren't ready to fight a battle at sea. And Yu Sun Shin was ready to fight them at sea. So what he did was he kept them at bay. And he was able to just basically destroy them. So we're going to do all 4 issues of Yu Sun Shin. I'm going to knock $1 off the cover price of all 4 books here, and you're going to get all 4 for just $10. Plus, I'm going to sign them all for you because that's what I do. You're watching Virtual Signings with Onrie, and I can do all that kind of stuff. Yu Sun Shin is a trilogy of books, though, so it's not just a one-and-done deal. We're actually doing 12 issues altogether, and it's a trilogy. So every 4 issues makes up a branch of that trilogy. The second part of the trilogy is called Fallen Avenger, and it picks up 5 years down the road. Basically, the second arc is really set up to build up to one of the second greatest naval battle ever fought in world history. Literally, Yu Sun Shin history has remembered him for all of his miraculous victories. And what we're leading up to here is this one battle where Yu Sun Shin builds up his navy, then loses his navy because the king of Korea believes that he was not faithful to the king. So the king has him arrested and beaten within an inch of his life, and installs Yu Sun Shin's incompetent rival to be in charge of the navy, and he gets everybody killed. And so Yu Sun Shin is now left with only 12 ships because the entire navy is destroyed. Everything he spent the last 6 years building up is now like done for. And he has only 12 ships. And he's up against the entire Japanese navy by the time we get to Fallen Avenger 4. And in 2 hours, he ends up killing 18,000 men, boarding the enemy commander's ship, cutting off his head, hanging it on the mast of his ship, and says, "We will attack again." By the end of this battle, the Japanese had lost all taste for conquest. They wanted to get the hell out of Korea, and they couldn't because Yu Sun Shin would not let them go. So we got Fallen Avenger number 1, 2, 3, and 4 going for another $10. So that's $20 for 8 comics. And then we got Hunter and Destroyer number 1. This is the 9th issue of the series. And here's some of the artwork inside. With Yu Sun Shin, we remain consistent throughout. So the artwork you see on the covers is exactly the same type of artwork you're going to see in every single issue, cover to cover. And we got Hunter and Destroyer 1. It's going for just $3. You tack it on. You're looking at 9 comics, all signed for $23. You're saving $1 off the cover price of everything. Now, if you prefer trades, we got a Yu Sun Shin trade here. I have the Warrior and Defender graphic novel, which features a foreword by Stan Lee. Yes, I got to meet Stan Lee multiple times, and he wrote the introduction to my book, which was a tremendous honor. And I write about it. And inside the graphic novel, you'll find over 50 pages of bonus material, including a director's cut, interviews with our international creative team, and we got character profiles in the back. It's really sensational. We got the second book out as well. Normally we sell both of these for $25 a piece, making a combined value of $50. I'll do them both right now at $40. Call it as you see it. Now, in terms of license work, I also did license work too. I got Tales from the Crypt here. I did Tales from the Crypt. I got a soft cover going for $15, which I'll sign for you as well. And I got a single issue going for $10, signed by me. Call it as you see it. The last book I'm going to talk about, and then we're done with the show here, is Marks, A Tale of Neglect. This is the story of my grandfather's life. During World War II, he was a Russian Jewish soldier that battled the Nazis. It is a standalone story. There are no sequels or prequels to Mark's. It's going for just $15. You call it as you see it, and I will sign it for you and hook you up. Guys, thank you so much for being a part of our best of today. It was such a good time being with you guys and talking with you about all the creator-owned books that we've had here. We'll do it again in the next couple months, and we'll start just showcasing some of the stuff that we had here from our guests. I'm going to be off next week and the week afterwards because I got conventions coming up. It looks like they're still happening. So Much Cosplay is up next, so enjoy the show. Thank you so much for everything. Love you all. See you in a couple. Actually, I will be back next week. We're going to do a pre-record, so we'll figure that out. Stay tuned and enjoy So Much Cosplay. Take care. Have a good one.